Hello, comic book fans. How's it going? How are you, everybody? It's me. It's Comic Crack. I was just watching Earl Grey's video where he's talking about 6 books. I'd seen Noah Van Sciver's interview as well too, with the guy from Bubbles zine magazine. Noah just continues to have really great content, really great interviews. I see there was one with Jesse Jacobs that I watched. Who was it recently? I thought another name popped up recently that I'm sure will be interesting. I don't know. I haven't kept up over the last few days here with the YouTube comic book world. So Van Sciver had talked about their whole premise was, your house is burning down. What are you going to grab on your way out the door? Earl Grey just did a video as well too. I put the link in the description of this video to go and check that out. And I thought I would contribute. These are all very reasonable choices. They're all practical. They're in different parts of the house. So, I mean, my family, as much as they would like to grab their possessions, I'm afraid they're going to have missions to go to different bookshelves and grab specific books for me. And, I know they're heavy and I know there's a fire and we've got to just go. But, this is really, really important. So we're going to start with a nice small one. I'll probably get my daughter to grab this one for me. We're going to need some kind of reading about better times, according to Darwin Cook. So we're going to need to grab this New Frontier. And I mean, we're going for the absolute edition because it's got everything in it. Handy dandy slipcase. If we need to stay warm because now we're homeless, we can use this to kind of start a fire. So that'll be handy. And it's just a gorgeous book. I know that Damien and Wednesday Serial had done a podcast about this recently. I didn't end up watching the whole thing or listening to the whole thing. I don't remember if they did a video or if it was just the audio. Anyway, they did talk about it. And they kind of, when I got into a part of the video, they were talking about some of the things that were maybe not necessarily problematic isn't the best word, but there's a definite perspective here for sure. And I can see how Mr. Cook could get lumped into some unseemly parts of the comic book world. But I think it's a fantastic piece of work. I really, really enjoy it. It got me into checking out The Losers and just kind of solidified myself as a fanboy to Darwin Cook. So that one is coming for me. And like I said, so my daughter will be going for that one. On that same bookshelf. So, I mean, she's got to, if we're going to survive after the house is burnt down, if we're going to survive out in the wild, she does have to flex and kind of build up her strength. So while she's up there grabbing that one, it's on the same shelf. I'll get her to grab volume 1, not volume 2. So she'll have to just double check on the spine to make sure that she gets the correct one. But this will be volume 1 of Criminal. This was my first exposure to the team of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, and my first foray into the criminal world. And I was hooked immediately. It's fantastic stuff. If at this point you haven't read Criminal, that's quite frankly criminal. Volume 3 hardcover collection just came out. Like I said, I do have the first 2 volumes. I'm sure I'll pick up the third one at some point. I do have the single issues, but nothing finer than reading this in a nice collected edition. It's really great read. Sorry, texts coming through. They don't realize the house is burning down and I've got to get these things sorted here. So downstairs, since this is where I spend a lot of my time when everybody's gone to bed, I'll kind of take care of these ones. I might get someone to come. Maybe I'll pass them some books up the stairs because there's a few from down here. A couple of sizable ones. I figure we can't, we're looking ahead and thinking about better times in the past. There's going to be some darkness, so Criminal's got that covered. We're going to need some kind of lightheartedness as well. So I've got to grab a Wolvertunes, The Art of Basil Wolverton. I mean, you've been watching my videos long enough. I love Basil Wolverton. And this kind of links in with Earl Grey's video. The same place that I bought the Spirit Artist Edition, he posted, he had the fucking Basil Wolverton Artist Edition that you showed off in your video, Mr. Grey. I missed it by like a minute. You know what I mean? Somebody snatched it up. He had it on sale. I can't believe it. This was literally days after you had posted the video looking at that book. So I'm, that was painful. So this one is fantastic. It's got a few strips, but it mostly has, just kind of gags and things, you know, lots of great drawings with some captions and, just his fantastic, ridiculous, peculiar people and his ridiculous style. So I think this will get us through a few times while we're looking to fashion a new place to live out of cardboard box, and maybe the slipcase for New Frontiers. Maybe we can start building a structure with that. So this we can kind of sit around and just laugh. If we want to kind of get in touch with, you know, a little bit of our spiritual or religious sides, as you will, I'm also going to have just some classic Peanuts and just to remind us about the struggles that people have. And maybe we're not so bad off. At least we don't have a kite to contend with. So this is this the first collection? Yes. So from 1952 to 1955. I love Peanuts. I grew up reading the Peanut strip. I wasn't as familiar with this early stuff, and his style. I love his style in these early strips. I think it's really fantastic. So this will be great. Plus, it is almost Christmas, and Christmas around our house is filled with Peanuts. My wife recently got us some Peanuts mugs so we could enjoy our hot chocolate tomorrow when we're decorating our tree that we picked up today. We played the Peanuts Christmas album today when we got home. We've got Charlie Brown Christmas DVD that usually makes an appearance at least once over the holidays. So that's a fantastic book. And then for me, something to kind of remind me what it's like in other parts of the world. I picked this one because it did a number of things. I mean, I was always familiar, obviously, with kind of European and just comics not from our shores over here. But I would say this one, it was pretty impactful for me. Thorgal volume number 4. This was the first one that I got and the first one that I read. And I reread it just recently with my daughter. And I still really, honestly, it's an incredible series. This is an incredible book. I think it stands really well on its own. It has 2 separate stories, one kind of focusing on the mother and her child, and I'm going to forget names, of course. And then the second one dealing with Thorgal himself and some new friends that he meets and the kind of everything that happens to them on their little adventure there. It's a ridiculously good series and one that I could see myself revisiting time and time again. So when everybody's asleep and I'm trying not to worry about where our next meal is going to come from, I'll sit and I'll console myself reading that book. And again, something for myself just to get a kick out of. I definitely have to bring some collected Buddy Bradley and his family from Hate. Huge impact. I've talked about it on this channel many times. Pete Bagg and Buddy Bradley were huge in my life growing up. This is It's just ridiculously good stuff. And I mean, I can still read this stuff and still laugh out loud, and that doesn't happen much. And then a couple of pages later, feel a little uncomfortable. And then a couple of pages later, feel a little sorry for some of the characters in here. And really, it's just top-notch stuff. And I cheated because right beside this one, so while I'm grabbing this stuff, it's literally right beside it. So I just grabbed 2 books accidentally. I didn't mean to, but hey, I've got it in my hand. I've got to get the hell out of the house. Guy Caldwell's Inner City Romance. When people talk to me about underground comics, which doesn't happen often, I'll give you that. But when they do, and people want to know where to start, I would highly, highly, highly recommend Guy Caldwell and Inner City Romance. If you can't find the single issues, you can find this collected edition. Unfortunately, this was before my enlightenment, and this was bought through Amazon against my better judgment even at that time. There was a little bit of a kerfuffle with it when it first came, so I think this is top-notch stuff. Guy Caldwell is an incredible artist. These stories are amazing. I don't think I've really ever read anything like this before or since. It's a very, very unique voice going on here. So I can highly, highly recommend this. So this collects all of the Inner City Romance comics, and then you also get some extras at the beginning just about Guy and his career. And you get some paintings that he's done too, samples of his paintings. Is there any back matter too? Yeah, so more paintings at the back, quite a few more paintings at the back. A bit of an epilogue, and then some more paintings. So there you go. In the meantime, thanks very much for tuning in. Send some money. Any donations will help. Our house is burning down, so we really could use your assistance. Thanks very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Another chat with Larasa, hopefully in the afternoon. I haven't checked in with her yet, but you'll probably see us, and we'll talk. I didn't really read much this week, with things burning down and stuff. There you go. Hey, Mr. Vidal, Gore Vidal, how you doing? I was just about to push the end broadcast. Yes, there is indeed. You have the singles. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's worth getting. Just don't do what I did and go to Amazon. I'm sure you can find it somewhere else if you look. Well worth it. It's a Fantagraphics title. I don't know if they'll still have it in stock in their store. 25 solid American US dollars. Well worth it, as you well know. I'm assuming you've read the issues as well, but this is one of the highlights in the underground comics for me. Okay, thanks very much, Gore. We'll talk to you later, y'all. Bye.